Samba De Amigo Party Central on the Switch is one of the perfect blends of that like party atmosphere. I think it's got a good pop soundtrack and track list. It's got if you get the deluxe edition of Samba De Amigo Party Central, you will also get a ton of extra Sega songs. You get Sonic songs. You get a couple Space Channel 5 songs. Pretty sweet. Or I think those are coming later. A lot of the gameplay really just matters at the angles you'll see here if you're watching the B-roll. You see we're playing 2 players, and you can see the light sticks on either side, and that's just your Joy-Cons. And it really only matters, like I said, the angle at which you hold the Joy-Cons. But honestly, Drix, I gotta tell you, it's really hard to not play it old school Samba De Amigo arcade style.
Yeah, just have it watch you and just extend your arms in a, you better hope your Wiimote is strapped to your wrist kind of way.
I gotta tell you, there are times where it feels like you have to go for that kind of stuff, or else it just won't work. Like this one right here. If you're watching the B-roll, there was one where it's like a twist. It looked like a little twist motion. There it is again. It's like copy 1, 2, 3, and like. So that one's a little bit tricky because you do need to swing the Wiimotes. You need to swing the Joy-Cons yes. Crisscross from one another, and they need to be going in opposite directions. And the Joy-Cons do register the fact that they're going in opposite directions of one another while crossing each other. So you need to do a lot of these moves, like these poses too. Deceptively like difficult. There are some of these poses where you might just be like a lot of them feel like, oh, I can just tilt the Joy-Cons and move one way and get the pose. And then there are some of them like the left and the right at the same time. These little punch poses, you really do, it feels like to actually get it to register, you do need to go for it. And I don't know about how everybody feels about that, but I appreciate that as an old school Samba De Amigo player.
Yeah, if you're into the motion controls, you're gonna have a good time. I mean, maybe some people just aren't as enthused as the idea of having to put physical effort into their games, but I'm definitely a huge rhythm game fan, and this looks awesome.
It's really cool. Even if you don't want to do any motion controls at all, there is a button mode, just like Dreamcast, like old school Samba De Amigo on the Dreamcast, and on the Samba De Amigo 2 on the Dreamcast. Like, you can't just do the buttons. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. I will say it is about the same kind of feel as it was back then too. It's not super. You could tell the game isn't designed for it, I should say. That's how I'll say it. Moving to the music makes you understand why they picked the tracks that they did. Like, I'm sure some of them are like contractual obligations, right? But like, I play on crazy mode, and I play on crazy mode with my girlfriend. We're playing a song on this one. If you're watching the B-roll right here, it gets crazy. Yeah, the OP to Gods in the chat. This seems sick. Play the Samba De Amigo on Dreamcast. It is slept on. It is very slept on. This is very cool, and it gets fast, as you can see in the B-roll, because it'll start moving really quick, and you'll have to pose rapidly back and forth. It can get. I gotta tell you, the first day I played this, I played it for about 2 hours. I was sweating, Drix. It makes me happy that Samba De Amigo exists. I gotta tell you, it exists in 2023, I should say. I gotta tell you, I didn't think something like this would happen after the Space Channel 5 on the VR. It was pretty underwhelming, but it makes me. This is also on the VR, and it makes me want to kind of play it as well on that platform, just to get the full immersion. And I bet you that one is a lot more like the arcade, where you do need to reach for it because you do have the full range of motion. So I would be excited to play it on a VR. I just don't have access to one right now. So, but like I said, like in this B-roll, if you're checking it out, man, I'm shaking it with one hand and I'm moving with a beat with the other one. Rapid shake on another one. Boom, boom, pose. It's crazy. It gets so fast, and it's very, very, very fun, especially if you have somebody that you can play with. But even if you don't, Drix, even if you don't have someone that you can play this game with, you don't got to worry about it, because Samba De Amigo Party Central also has a mode where you can just play online. There's multiple online modes. There's the traditional mode like this one, you can just play online, and there's also the there's like a Stream Me mode. I forget what it's called, but Streamigo. That's what it is. You'll see it on the B-roll coming up, maybe in a little bit after this one. This on the B-roll right now is just the different local multiplayer modes. But the Streamigo mode is pretty much like a Samba De Amigo battle royale. You start off with 20 people, and you go through 3 stages with 20 actual people online, and I think you go down by like you drop like 10 people the first round, and then you drop like 5 people the next round. You just drop people throughout the 3 rounds, and you just play I'm pretty sure it's the highest difficulty, crazy. It's either crazy or super hard. So,
man,
it's really cool to play a battle royale rhythm game. So,
yeah, multiplayer
honestly,
online.
Yeah, honestly, if you really like rhythm games and you've been itching for that, for something different in a rhythm game, but still want the full feature of a regular video game, still has the online mode, still has a really good soundtrack. The gameplay is smooth. Drix, the gameplay in this game is so smooth. This B-roll right here, you see so many of these, like they're like sliding motions, and so many of these different rapid double shakes at the same time into like rapid shakes. Like that's really you could see my maracas on either side. They're moving like it's super smooth. It's super smooth, so you really get into it when you're playing. So Samba De Amigo Party Central, great party game, great rhythm game. Like if you're into the rhythm games, pick this one up. $40 at retail, so it's a budget title as well. I was lucky enough to play the old school arcade machines with the little maracas, and it's really cool. And yeah, it's all about the angles, right? I just need to move my Joy-Cons up, down, left, right. You know, I only really need my wrist, but like I said earlier in my impressions, some of these poses and these dramatic, like, you know, the punches, and there's one that's like it's like a beat thing. It's like you do a barrage beat kind of thing. Like it feels like to get those to register at least as a perfect, you really do need to go for it. And it really does make it feel like an arcade experience brought home, especially if you go to an arcade today. You know, Drix, you go to an arcade today, it's not like you go to it's not like you're playing a ton of fighting games, really. You're playing pinball, you're in one of those interactive rides, and 9 times out of 10, you are playing some kind of rhythm game. You know, some kind of full body experience.
Yeah, you're a better arcade if you have a few selections anyway.
Yeah. Like, so this really does feel like... This is the Streamigo mode on the B-roll, by the way. It really does feel like you're playing something that you pulled from the arcade. Like, you know, if you've ever been to a Round 1, or a Japanese arcade, you know what I'm talking about. It really feels like you pulled this from that, and you brought it home, and there's really nothing like it if you know that feeling. So Samba De Amigo Party Central, pick it up if you like rhythm games, pick it up if you're looking for a rhythm game with a little bit something different to offer, and it's fully featured online, has a battle royale mode, has local multiplayer mode, has a basic 2 to 4 man multiplayer mode online. Go for it, Samba De Amigo Party Central.